A phone rings in the dead of night. Prince William picks up, expecting a routine update, but the voice on the other end delivers a blow. King Charles, his father, is in the hospital, an emergency no one saw coming. Worse, William wasn't told, until it was almost too late. Why the secrecy? What's tearing this royal family apart? Today we're diving into the shock of Charles's health crisis, William's bitter reaction, and the hidden cracks threatening the monarchy's future. This is a story that changes everything. Let's jump to March 27, 2025. Buckingham Palace releases a statement at 9 p.m. sharp. King Charles III, aged 76, was briefly admitted to the London clinic after side effects from his cancer treatment flared up. He's already back at Clarence House, they say, resting and ready to resume duties. It's framed as a minor hiccup, a quick checkup, nothing to worry about. But behind the scenes, it's chaos. Prince William, the heir to the throne, only learns of his father's hospitalization as the news hits the public. Picture that. Your dad's in the ER, fighting abscesses, and you're the last to know. For William, it's not just a shock, it's a betrayal. How did this happen? And what does it reveal about the palace's inner workings? To get it, we need to backtrack. Charles's cancer diagnosis came in February 2024 after a routine procedure for an enlarged prostate uncovered something else. The palace kept it vague. No specifics on the type, just that it wasn't prostate-related and treatment was underway. Charles, ever the workhorse, stayed public-facing when he could, greeting dignitaries, championing his eco-causes, even traveling to Australia and Samoa in October 2024. By early 2025, he's still at it, meeting the Pope in Rome and planting trees in Italy. But cancer's a brutal opponent. Treatments, likely a mix of radiotherapy and chemo, take a toll, and on March 27th, something goes wrong. Maybe a fever, maybe fatigue, maybe something scarier. Whatever it was, it's enough to rush him to Marylebone's top hospital for what insiders call precautionary monitoring. By March 28th, he's out, waving from his car, heading to Highgrove. Crisis averted, right? Not for William. William's blindsided. Williams. He's 42, a dad to George, Charlotte, and Louis, and the monarchy's anchor. He's been through the ringer. 2024 was brutal, with both Charles and his wife Catherine diagnosed with cancer. Catherine's journey started with abdominal surgery in January, thought to be benign until tests showed otherwise. She endured chemo, announced she was cancer-free in September, and by January 2025, she's in remission, slowly returning to work. William held it together, balancing royal duties with family life, shielding his kids from the spotlight. He's been Charles's right hand too, taking on state visits and patronages while the king focused on health. So why wasn't he told? Why did he hear about this from Apple's aide, not a doctor or Charles himself? The answer lies in the palace's DNA. Buckingham operates on a need-to-know basis, a holdover from Queen Elizabeth's era. Information is power, and they guard it fiercely. The 9 p.m. statement was calculated, late enough to dodge morning headlines, early enough to control the narrative. They didn't want a media frenzy like Catherine's absence sparked in 2024, when Where is Kate trended for weeks. But in their rush to manage the story, they misjudged William. He's not just the Prince of Wales, he's Charles's son, next in line, the guy who will inherit this mess. Leaving him out wasn't just careless, it was a signal. The palace's loyalty is to the crown, not the man wearing it, or the one waiting to. Let's unpack William's world. He's no stranger to strain. Growing up, he navigated his parents' messy divorce, Diana's death in 1997, and the public's obsession with his every move. Charles was a decent dad, but often absent, buried in duties or his eco-crusades. William leaned on his grandmother, Elizabeth, and later Catherine, his rock since their 2011 wedding. He's carved his own lane, Earthshot Prize for climate solutions, mental health advocacy through Heads Together, a push for a modern monarchy. But 2024 tested him. Catherine's illness hit hardest. She's his partner, his confidant. Charles's diagnosis was a quieter blow, but it shifted the ground beneath him. The throne, once a distant prospect, now feels close. Too close. The hospitalization exposes that weight. William's been prepping for kingship forever. briefings, mentors, even shadowing Charles at Commonwealth summits. But no training covers this. Your father's sick, your wife's recovering, and the palace treats you like an outsider. Sources say William was bitter and hurt, not just at the news but at the delivery. He's been vocal about trust. Back in 2020, he and Catherine pushed for openness during the pandemic, sharing Zoom calls from home. Contrast that with the palace's stonewalling here. Was it intentional? Some say yes. Courtiers protecting Charles's image, keeping William at arm's length to avoid panic. Others call it a screw-up, a chaotic night where protocol trumped family. Either way, it's a wake-up call. The monarchy's slimmed-down model, Charles's vision, relies on a tiny core: William, Catherine, Princess Anne, the Edinburghs. With Charles sidelined even briefly, and Catherine easing back, William's carrying the load. He's doing investitures, hosting banquets, flying to Finland for NATO talks, but he's stretched thin. His kids need him. George is starting to grasp his future, Charlotte's navigating school. Louis is still a whirlwind. Catherine's health isn't guaranteed. Remission isn't a finish line. And Charles? He's tougher than he looks, but 76 with cancer isn't a small thing. This hospitalization, minor or not, is a reminder. Time's running out. The public barely blinks. Charles's quick recovery, out of hospital in 24 hours, keeps the story from exploding. Ex-posts show support, some curiosity, but it's no 2024. Kate frenzy. People are used to Charles's illness now. It's background noise. The real buzzy's William. Cameras catch him leaving Clarence House on March 28th, jaw tight, eyes down. Days later, he's at an Earthshot event in Glasgow. All smiles, but the internet's dissecting his vibe. He looks stressed, one post reads. Future king vibes, says another. He's under a microscope, and he knows it. Back to the palace. Why the secrecy? One theory, Charles himself. He's old school, raised on never complain, never explain. He's been open about his diagnosis to a point, publicly linking it to awareness. But he hates fuss. Maybe he downplayed the episode, told aides to handle it quietly. Another angle, the courtiers, they're gatekeepers, loyal to the institution, over anyone royal, even William. By controlling the flow, they control the story. But there's a darker possibility, protecting the succession. If Charles's health is shakier than admitted, rushing William into the loop could signal weakness, spook markets or embolden critics. The monarchy's a business, and stability is the product. William's not buying it. He's been burned before. Harry's exit in 2020, the Oprah interview, the memoir. Trust is his currency, and the palace just spent some. He's already flexing. Muscle in April 2025, he switches legal teams, ditching Harbottle and Lewis for Mishcon de Reya, Diana's old firm. It's a power move, a nod to independence. The hospitalization could push him further. He's seen how opacity backfires. Catherine's edited photo in 2024, pulled by agencies for manipulation, was a PR disaster. William backed her video statement. Then a raw move that worked. Will he demand the same now, or bide his time? Charles, meanwhile, keeps going. By April, he's in Italy, charming crowds, looking spry. But cancer's a shadow. Side effects aren't one-offs, they're warnings. William's watching, not just as a son, but as a strategist. He's been here before with Catherine. The uncertainty, the waiting. He knows what's at stake. If Charles falters again, William's role shifts. Not just heir, but regent, maybe sooner than planned. Regency's rare. Last time was 1811, George III's madness. But it's on the table. William's. Ready, but readiness isn't peace. The monarchy's at a crossroads. Charles's reign was meant to ease William in, not thrust him forward. Elizabeth's death in 2022 feels like yesterday. Charles's coronation in 2023, a blink. Now, with health crises piling up, the future's blurry. William's reign will be leaner, greener, less ceremonial. Earthshot's histemplate, global, practical, hopeful. But this drama shows the hurdles. A palace stuck in 1950, a public craving connection, a family spread thin. Harry's gone, unlikely to bridge gaps even now. Catherine's steady but cautious. Anne's a workhorse, but she's 74. Who else steps up? Zoom out to the bigger picture. The monarchy's a paradox. Rooted in history, judged by TikTok, Charles's hospitalization and William's reaction exposes that. People love the drama, but demand truth. William gets that. He's grown up in the media age, post-Diana. He knows silence breeds conspiracies. But he's also royal, bound by duty. That tension, modern versus tradition, defines him. This bitter moment isn't just about a missed call. It's about power. Who controls the story? Who controls the crown? As spring 2025 rolls on, the surface calms. Charles is back, William's working, Catherine's smiling at engagements. But that night, William learning the news like a stranger hangs heavy. It's a fault line, small but deep. Will he push for change? Force the palace to bend? Or will another crisis hit first, one that makes this look tame?